want to thank you, Minister, for being here today and for the considerable amount of work that you have carried out bringing us to this stage of phased reopening. On Thursday of this week, we will see the return of children with special education needs to the school on a shared basis. They will be afforded the opportunity to experience school life and, in the current environment, iron out the emerging issues before we go into the midterm break. Following the break, we'll see the return to the education setting of children with special education needs in mainstream schools. This is very much welcome and by those children and their parents. We are all very much aware that online learning isn't for every child and also takes an amount of supervision and support that cannot always be delivered in the home. In-person learning is the most appropriate and most effective. School is not just about education, it's also about personal development, social and life skills, the entire experience of getting ready for school, attending, developing friends and falling out with them, working together, taking turns. All of the little moments of school are about the learning for life. And children with special needs live for this, look forward to the routine, the faces, the surroundings, and they have been denied this since before Christmas. So it is heartbreaking that it has taken until now for this reopening to occur through no fault of your own diligent work. I am mindful that the COVID numbers in the country are frightening. Every day the numbers losing family members are strikingly high. Behind every statistic is a person whose life has been impacted by the lives of others and who is mourned and missed. So I understand the reservations urged by SNAs and teachers in the return to school. I appreciate the considerable work has done in providing supports demanded and the medical advice was provided. PPE and reassurances and accommodations have been made for those with personal medical concerns and those with loved ones they care for that would be in a vulnerable category. I certainly hope that the return that the 50% return will come to a 100% return as quickly as possible, because while 50% is an improvement vastly on none at all, it is not in the best interest of the child, however, for the return to routine to be denied even half of the time. Thank you, Minister, for your in-person supplementary programme, another great initiative which will benefit up to 23,000 children. I can't waste the opportunity but to beat the drum for the ASD units and for the children that don't have an opportunity to go to school in their local community. There are areas and postcodes that are without ASD units in schools, and that we need to keep going with the work on that, which I know that you are doing wholeheartedly. I know that the argument of older and outdated restrictive buildings has been the reason for a lot of the delays, but frankly some of the schools are getting away with blatant discrimination of children with autism and their right to be accommodated in their local community. This time last year, I attended the public meeting of Involve Autism, and it was heartbreaking to listen to parent after parent citing the extremities they are obliged to go to secure a place in the school for their child. I think you have brought this along and provided an awful lot of units way beyond in the very short time that, in fact, you're only a matter of months in the ministry, and I congratulate you for that. But I would ask you to keep the pressure up and to not let the school boards abdicate their responsibility and their accountability to you in that regard. Lastly, Minister, I cannot let the occasion go by but to congratulate you most sincerely for the extraordinary work that you did in the decision to open Skull Column and as an ASD specific school. And today I would ask, and I know that I have more formally asked in another context, but for the progress update in that regard. Is everything going full steam ahead, and are we ready for September opening of this year? There's huge anxiety on the part of all those involved to obtain the reassurance that in the midst of COVID and in all that is going on, and naturally all of the other things that occupy your ministry at the moment, but that we are still advancing with regard to opening that school, equipping it, its governance, its oversight. And so, as I say, I know that you're more formally preparing a report in another context for me on that, but if you can give a little nod to them, because I know they're out there listening in this afternoon. Thank you very much, Minister, for your continued dedicated work. It's very much appreciated.